all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's Thursday, which means it's Throttle Thursday. We're going to be doing the next few stages of the Ducati Panigale R 1299 Final Edition. I've said it before, I'll say it again. There's not much to do in this. That's all we've got left to do. But there's so much little detail to do. Obviously, we've done the main bike, as you can see behind me there. We're going to be adding some of the details now, which is mainly the dashboards, the dials, and some of the body armour. But there is a lot of detail here. Now, once again, I'm not sure where you can get hold of this at the moment. This was a limited edition. I am actually building this for Ian Campbell over at Part Work Upgrades. I'm hoping to have it done in the next couple of weeks, but we'll see how much detail there actually is to do. But without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, we're going to start this build with these parts of the motorcycle here, which is going to make the front mudguard. Now, these aren't on the K sprue, which you'd expect. They are detailed as K, but we've got basically K06, K01, and K02. I'm also going to need a small detail from the J sprue. And as you can see, the J sprue here is full of tiny details. And I'm looking for number 8, which is this one just here. The last thing I need is some K screws. Get my screwdriver out. And the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to put these together just like that. And I'm holding that in with K screws. So that's one. Do the other side. And then I'll just tighten this all up. So that looks just like that. Got to add the small J detail now. That's just going to go on top here. And that's going to be put in with a J screw, surprisingly. Which I've got here. Get that all the way through. So it overhangs the end just like that. And then the last thing I need is some of this RF cable. I need to cut 92mm off that. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 92. It's around about there. Get me a scalpel on that. Excellent. All I'm going to do is then just thread that through the detail that we've just put on with the J screw. There you go. I don't mind telling you, not one of the easiest things to put in. I had to use a cocktail stick in the end to help thread that through. But there we go. That's that part completed. I need to bring over the bike now. Now I've focused in on the side camera there because these little posts here, if I just turn this round, you can see them better here. On each side, this is where this is going to mount to. So this is just going to mount onto here like this. It's then that you realise that obviously I've gone wrong. And these are in the wrong way. So you undo them and put them in the other way. See, I leave my mistakes in. I'm sure you people appreciate that I make mistakes. Of course, I make mistakes a lot more frequently than most of you, I bet. But there you go. I never claim to be perfect. So these are on the right way round now. I'm sure you were all screaming at me when I put them in originally. So, get these back on. That's better. So now this can fit on to this section just here, like that. Now that's going to be held in just with U-screws to this side, to the other side. So that's now solid in there. And then all I want to do is the pipe lead that I connected just to the back of this needs to be connected to the little points or the little nipples onto the brakes here on each side. So I'll put this side in closest to you first. There you go. And I'll just do exactly the same on the other side. Now, one of the last metal parts we're going to be putting in now looks just like this. This is going to be going just on this front bit here. It's going to be going on just like that. That's held in with P screws. Now it takes 4 of these. I'm going to use my heavy duty screwdriver just to tighten these up. Now we've got these parts here. These are actually on the F sprue. We have got a lug just in the end, which is going to go into the gold section we just put in there. So I'm going to push that on, and that's going to line up everything else on the where this is actually going to go. A little bit tricky, but I'll get both sides in, just like this. And then we're going to be holding this in with 2 B screws either side. So I'm just going to show you how that looks, because I'm about to put the bike on the floor. But that's that front end now. Whoa, almost dropped it. Looking like that. So let's put this on the floor. We've got quite a detailed bit that we're actually going to be building now. We're going to be building this whole section here, which is going to go onto the top of the bike. This looks like all the dials and stuff like that. So let's get this together. We're definitely going to need the last metal part we've got, which looks like this. And I'm just going to break out everything else we need. Now, we have got a decal to put on. Now, we've got 4 different dials that we can have on the front. I don't know which one to have. I like this one. This one's got a lot more going on it. So I think that's the one that I'm going to actually put on that. It's actually going to go onto this section here that looks like that. So I'll get that on now. And while I'm just letting that soak, I need to cut 2 lengths of RF lead again. This time both 182 millimeters long. So the decal is able to move now. Just going to line up one edge, slide that across. Perfect. Make sure it's on okay. Slipping around a little bit. But there you go, that's perfect. And there you go, that's that decal on perfectly. Let's start putting this together. So this section here is going to go inside this section, just like that, and it's held in from the other side here with V screws. And that one's number 2. Excellent, so it looks like that. Put the cover over this. And that's going to hold itself in, sort of like a click into place. They are saying it's going to need a little bit of glue in there. So just going to get that together now. Remembering that if we were to use super glue on that, we're going to have a bad time. Because it will frost up. So what I'm using is some micro crystal clear. Just around the edge here. And I'll have peace of mind knowing that's going to dry very clear. And it's not going to frost up at all. So, just holding that for a second. And there we go. That's what the little dashboard area is going to look like. Now on the back of this, you see we've got 2 little pegs there. This is where I am going to use a bit of super glue. I can use the other side of the cocktail stick that I just used. And just cover, haven't said this in a long while, just cover those nipples there. Get the leads or the pipes that I've just made, and these are going to go onto the nipples. So one there. And one this side, just like that. Now this is going to be threaded through this last metal section that we got here. Just like this. Get it all the way down. And then just put this into place where it's going to go. And it's secured in from the other side here, or the underside here, with J screws. Now it's going to take 3 of these to line this up. And there you go, that's mounted and in place there. We've then got this top piece to put on. That's just going to go into this section here, and that's held in with C screws. And just make these nice and tight. So that part looks just like this. I need to bring the bike up again now. because this section is actually just going to fit onto the top just like that, as you can see on the close-up camera, and it's going to be held into on the other side there just with some D screws. So as you can see on the close-up camera, that's now mounted in place. Got one more piece just to put over the top here. In fact, this is the last piece of the sprue K. We can actually get rid of that now. There's nothing else on here. And I've zoomed up the top camera. That's just going to go into this area here, just like that. And that's held in with J screws. We do have another detail just to put in this as well, which I'm just going to get out. It's going to go into the middle section of this here. So I'll just put some glue on that. Slot that in. That's the, looks like the key to operate it. But we are going to screw this bit down just with some J screws. Bit confusing though, we have J screws on the outside sections here. And then C screws in the center here. So I'll let you bask in how the top is looking now, because I don't actually need the bike at the moment. I'm going to put that back on the floor. Now I just want to show you the instructions of what we've just done. We've just created this whole area here. Now these wires that are coming out the bottom, they haven't asked us to connect that to anything at the moment. So I'm going to leave that. But this is what we're actually creating next. And again, this is more work just onto the front end of the bike here. That means I've got to get all the parts out for this stage. I think I've got all the parts that I need for this stage. And the first piece we need looks just like this here. So we have got these two sections here which need to be joined together. Now this is just going to be pushed into this section here. It is asking me to glue this. I'm just going to have a check to see what the fit's like. I think I will put some glue just on those bits. Just into the holes here. And that will ensure this stays in place. And then this whole thing will be going just into the top section there. Once again, just pushing that into place like that. Now, once again, we've got these circular clips here. These can only go in a certain way, but they're just going to be pushed into these sections here. Again, I don't think I need glue. I think this is going to be strong enough to hold itself. Just checking. Yep, that stays in. No problems at all. Do the same on the other side. Perfect. And they're in like that. Now I'm going to mount this whole section here onto this piece, looking like this here. So it sort of clips in just like that, but we have to put this piece on first because it's actually screwed in from this side here, and that's screwed in with some L screws. I've got them here. That's one. And just one on the other side here. We've got this little section here to go on the bottom. We're just lining that up over the holes here. And this is where you learn that the section that I've just put in should go in afterwards. They don't really tell you the order to put these in. So I'll just take that back out again and get that bit in first. There we go. So that section's in like that, which now enables me to put some J screws just into that section there. You can see how difficult this build can be when you're not sure what order to actually put things in. So that's two in there, and then again, just two J screws through the top here. Now hold these two bits together very tight, just like that. Now I do have some parts to put round the top here, which look just like this. Now I'm guessing I'm having to put these bits in first as well, because once the back piece is on, I'm not going to be able to get a screw in here, you see. So it's going to go on kind of like that there. But before we do that, we have got the lens to put on as well, which is going over the top. Just like that, and hold that in with an R screw. As a matter of fact, it's the R screw that's going to hold it into that section there. I'm just going to line this up and do a test fit. That's going to hold all of this section in here. Yep, that's going to be fine. So I can actually put the back on now. A couple of pieces to go on the side now, which are on the H1. These are lovely chrome pieces. Let's get these off. Now these are the reflectors which are going to go inside this section here. Once again, I'm just looking at this and thinking, should I have attached this bit now? I don't think I should have. I think I should have put these reflectors in first. Oh, it's so difficult. Okay, let me just get this apart so I can get these in. But they're going to go in each side. So we'll come back and I'll show you what that looks like. So that's one reflector in. You can actually access it by just taking that top section off there. You do need both of these on because there's a screw behind to actually keep that in. See, again, I've trying to figure out which actual order they go in is pretty hard. And they will hold themselves. Then I can put this top section back on. Just like that. So we've got the reflectors in. Then this top piece cover here is going in like that. I'll put that bit in last, I think. And then use that long R screw just through the top here to keep all of this together. Now that's in and I'm happy with how that looks, I am just going to put some glue just into the spot holes here. Just to keep that top section in. It's quite funny that I did that piece first and it does turn out that that should have been the last piece that I put in. But again, there's no numbers to tell me what order to do it in. But I'll get this in, push that down, and just hold that into place. So again, no help to where these are going at the moment, but I am just going to keep these just out the way while I put in the headlight at the front here. Because this is going to be going in this way over the two holes that we've got underneath. So I'm aware I'm having to do this off camera because it's quite a strong piece to put in. And there you go. When that's in, it should look just like that. We've got one last piece to put in. This is the last piece of on the sprue G. And this is just going to go underneath the headlights here, held in on each side just with some L screws. Okay, I think that's probably a good place to end it. So if I try and figure this out, hang on a second, I found a good way to hold the bike. So if I hold the stand end underneath, there you go. That is what the front end is looking like. Perhaps I should have a thumbnail. There you go. But there you go. So let's have a look quickly what we've got left to do. So we've pretty much got a top end to put on here, which is this bit here. We've got some details to go on the back of the bike here. And then it looks like we're putting all the armour on. So I'm guessing that we can probably have this done in the next video. So if I can get a video out next week, I think that will be the last one. But I'm sure you'll agree, the bike is looking absolutely amazing. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.